When the lights go down and the turn off your cell phone messages play, the anticipation could kill you.
When I got to see myself in the Dear Evan Hansen video projections during You Will Be Found, feeling like part of the show was absolutely magical, and in that moment, it truly felt like I was found.
My favorite Toronto Life theater moment was when I was 12 years old and I watched Les Miserables on stage for the first time. It's the best musical I've ever seen.
When we would come to the back of the theater and hang out with the ushers and the front of house staff and the bartenders, and we would always ask them, how's the audience tonight? Or we'd be backstage with the crew and we'd say, how's the audience tonight? Because it changed every night. Sometimes the audience was loud, sometimes they were quiet, sometimes they were crazy, sometimes they had Newfoundland flags, but it was always different. And so I missed that community that we were all on stage and off, telling the same story together and making theater together.
My most memorable theater moment was when I went to see Dear Evan Hansen in May 2019 because it caused my already existing love for theater to grow into something much bigger.
When I saw Aladdin on opening night in Toronto, and then a few more times during previews, and I got to see how it evolved before it opened on Broadway.
When I saw Mr. Derek Davis as Phantom of the Opera in Toronto during the Phantom Tour. Incredible, gorgeous voice.
When I went and saw Leslie Arden's very first production of The House of Martin Guerre, I loved it. It was like a huge, big, beautiful musical, big cast, dramatic material, lush orchestrations, and I just thought it was so beautiful that Canada was producing its own you know, big scale musical, which you don't see very often anymore.
So 3 generations met up to see Come From Away, and they had the moment where they flash people from the plane. We were front row. My stepfather and my son to my right were saying very little, but their eyebrows went clear up. They were enjoying the moment. And then my daughter leans in and goes, "Ooh, Mom, I want that red bra."
A theater moment that I really want to share was introducing my mother to Kinky Boots and theater for the very first time.
My most memorable musical experience is getting to go on stage for the pre-show at Once. It renewed my love of musical theater and my want to perform.
My favorite theater moment is probably when the audience feels the same collective emotion and everyone starts crying or laughing.
My favorite Toronto theater moment is when I was doing children's theater and I was playing the Wicked Queen in Snow White, and one of my lines was, "I must be the most beautiful," and this little voice comes out of the audience and says, "Well, you're not." And that is why I miss live theater.
When Sean Dolan sang, "Even if you've always been that barely in the background kind of guy, you still matter," I just cried.
Our favorite musical moments are always the songs right before intermission.
When it goes, who is it? Someone
When I went to see the Temptations play, and they were all sprawled out on the stage after doing a performance, and they were all, you know, getting high and stoned. And I thought, oh my God, I've done that with them.
For me, without a doubt, the most unforgettable moment is Me in the Sky from Come From Away. That's why I hate calling Mirvish, because it's the whole music.
My favorite theater moment was when I got to see the closing show of Waitress the First National Tour.
My favorite theater memory would have to be the time I skipped class to go see Dear Evan Hansen.
My favorite Toronto theater moment is when the Bowron starts drumming at the top of Come From Away and the whole cast walks out on stage at the same time. I miss telling this story so much, and I can't wait for theater to come back.